it's all on us, man. Like all on us, you know, like black and brown.
Yep.
So I was going to ask you,
I don't.
with that, to kind of piggyback off that, just like a loose example, the Germans eventually had to pay taxes back to the Jews, right? So bringing it forward today, right?
Reparations?
Yeah. Do you guys support reparations?
Yeah, like the U.S. owes fucking Japan for bombing them. Also during that time, they're still paying taxes for that to Japan. So it's like, dude,
Can you repeat that question?
there's repercussions for everything.
Dude, how would reparations even work? Like, say the government decides, you know what, we're gonna set aside $500 billion as reparations. We're gonna give to all African Americans that had descendants that were slaves. There's so many now that how much would they really get? A couple K per person, and that's the reparations. A couple K per person, like that's
bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's
even in the grand scheme, it was 500 billion, but the individual person only got a couple K.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh shit, it's all good because I got a couple K out of it. It doesn't work that way. I think it's a much bigger picture in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotional stuff that's.
I wouldn't be happy with a couple K. I'll tell you that right now. I'd be like, no, this is still happening.
It's like pity.
I think fixing the system that oppresses us would be a much better reparation than getting money from the government.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot that goes to it. It's just that, you know,
marijuana is a huge topic. So many people are in jail right now for selling marijuana. Exactly. But it turned out marijuana was an essential business.
Yeah.
When white people own it. Like, they hold up, what?
All of a sudden, yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that reparations are gonna fucking cure and like thing. I just think reparations will be the start because again, when you oppress and dehumanize people, I always said a quarter what I really want to say. What it really is, when I use the bad dog owner reference in America being that towards minorities, you gotta think, dude, that's like over 80 years of that. So yeah, like money ain't gonna really solve that, but if you can at least give these people some more financial stability and like a little bit less stress, it's like a start. Just certain things and certain nuances need to change. I do feel like certain things Black people do need to take responsibility for. Certain things, not all things, but I just know like when you have an alcoholic at Alcoholics Anonymous, you fucking enable that person so they don't drink. You don't enable them so they keep drinking, or oh no, you're a fuck up, or you help them out by like not yelling at them and not chastising them. But if they need some tough love, you give it to them. And I feel like America needs to kind of do that more with Black people, as opposed to just like labeling us as thugs and like. There's always been like an assassination of Black people's character. I feel like even with the Jews, like you know what I'm saying, like with the protesting, like like. It's so much shit, brother. It's a lot of shit, but I mean, I feel like the reparations won't solve shit completely. I just feel like it'll be a start to some shit, man, because I don't feel like we're not just to it, and I feel like the same for Hispanic people too, especially for Hispanic people, especially for people that are here that have earned their citizenship, or they're trying to fight towards that, and they're not from a gang. They're just simply trying to fucking live a good life, but they're characters being assassinated, and then not only that, people are being put in cages. So yeah, I feel like reparations should be given to Black and brown people as a starting point. And there's a lot of other things that we need too, like maybe free healthcare. Canada, man. I know this is supposed to be about put on the batteries, but like I said, I just want to like touch on my opinions on that. But there's a lot of things that we could do. We can do the same thing as the Native Americans or something similar, and just if we're smart, we'll invest it in like, I don't know, man, casinos too, or like.
See, you guys can't do that like how the natives did it. The reason the natives are able to do it is because they're technically native land. They can do what they want.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Purnell, I don't want to poke holes in your little thing, but like, it wouldn't be the same as with the Native Americans.
Yeah, it's a different. It's a different genocide.
Yeah, that's a whole other.
Like the Native Americans were not gonna bow down for shit. They weren't gonna. They didn't want to. You know what I mean? That's not how they were brought up.
Well,
they were gonna fight.
The place where they have their casino, they put their casinos like on parts of land that they once like taken away from.
Their casinos are on land that goes to them, and they're exempt from certain federal laws. That's why they can have casinos in places that there are no casinos.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Yeah, it's a whole fucking.
It's a whole thing,
It's
man.
a whole can of worms, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, any more questions though?
Actually, we do kind of go, Alex. I don't mean to cut you off, Purnell, but I mean,
if you guys got to get going, I know it's your birthday, man. And David, I know you're busy, so you guys got to get going. Honestly, I appreciate the time. He wanted to bring you guys on, to talk about the record, and honestly, I've been bumping it.
Just want to get that bass player and producer and drummer perspective.
Got you. Thank you, guys, man. Hey, happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Cool, man.
Cool. I'll see you guys later, man.
You guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Honestly, bro, it doesn't matter to me because I'd rather just kind of focus on the music because that shit we can go down a rabbit hole and talk about that shit for hours. So I'd rather just focus on the we can just move on.
All right, yeah. Well, I was gonna tell you, man. So like first, I think my favorite song is the track 2, right? The Hold On. I would say probably my favorite now is probably Tattoo.
And then the more kind of like, I guess, so-called clean studio sound, which is like what Nico was able to bring, because that guy, he knows more than what I fucking know, because I wouldn't be able to do nothing behind that fucking editing mixer board or whatever. But yeah, man, I appreciate that, dude. And it helps when you have musicians that are open-minded musically, like not just punk, not just ska, but we all like all kinds of shit. Like,
yeah, dude, I was gonna say, cause what I enjoy about just like when bands put shit out is like you can tell if it's like everybody came in and did their shit separately, or like everyone like was actually like in there like creating it, you know what I'm saying? And like for example, the gang vocals, like all the backup shits, like all like the high pitched stuff you guys are adding and all that. I think you should make some music videos, bro.
Yeah, that's the plan, dude. Just I think after I guess we all collectively make more content, and I think of the concepts and all that stuff because like this is my project, I guess. So I have to like fart the ideas out, and then if we all collectively agree on that shit, yeah. But I agree. Somebody was saying maybe like a skate video concept for Hold On, but I think I'm gonna hold that for another song that's gonna be actually skateboard related. Like we're actually making a song that has to do with skateboarding basically. So for as far as like this, I guess the new stuff. So but yeah, man, it's definitely a video soon. Not to bring up the Paranoias too much, even though my drummer's in that band. Yeah. I kind of take to when those guys as far as like the kind of moves I want to make, because I just saw how they came out with their recent videos. Siggy, and I guess for Nico's video where he's dressed up like the dog or whatever, just the production value and the budget, it just kind of gave me the battery, no pun intended, I guess, to like kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta pay to play, man. Well, like I said, man, like because we all like ska, we like punk and everything, but we all like Nico likes hip hop. He likes a lot of like funk. Like I like the same because I'm an African American that grew up in a black household, and Nico grew up in Watts. So even though we like alternative music and all that stuff, and the reggae stuff, other influences kind of like peep in too. Just like you guys, I heard some of your new stuff from your new project too, man. It seems like the same thing. Like you guys just kind of like don't just stick to the cliche punk style, like which is. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's cool to kind of like
Yeah. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Yeah, man. I mean, I think I was just gonna say, like when shows start happening, bro, you should try to maybe do some weekenders, because I know you work full time, right? For the most part.
A little dispensary gig, fucking. I'm gonna light a joint up. See, speaking of which, but yeah, like I work at a shop, and pretty much that's just how I curate the budget, so to speak. Everything's DIY, because. The reason why I'm going to say it's not, the only reason why I'm going to say it's not, and I kind of like lean towards this band. You kind of probably already know who I'm going to mention, but because Isolated Victims was kind of like gearing towards that. I'm not going to give the details and put business out there on why they didn't fully go all the way, but that was one of the bands that put me in a position to be the closest to being in a band where legit business was being done in front of me. Like I was like, even though, because I was definitely the weakest link financially in that band, but regardless of the fact I was watching how the shit was supposed to be done with the right people, so it's just like I was a small fry, kind of like getting the fucking first class fucking rookie class court, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I kind of say, like I apply a lot of the shit that I learned from Isolated Victims, the good and the bad, with put on the battery. So with the touring stuff, I definitely see that as something in the future. I just think I kind of have to like put in the work to kind of make other things happen. Like we were talking about the videos and the content, I think kind of once I kind of take steps towards that and those things and kind of just, because we have 6 months to do nothing right now anyway. So I figure, I was talking to Nico about this, you know, he's like, just keep making content, keep cranking the shit out, because you had 6 months, might as well just really get to know people right now, because right now no one's playing shows. And then after the 6 months happens and we can all go back out into the daylight, you know, I figured by then, hopefully I can have some sort of reputable hype to build off that. And then I feel like all that touring stuff will kind of for sure come after the work's put in, like realistically, because, you know, people from out of state see the buzz from us in LA after, you know what I mean? So, you know how I go. So I think hopefully with time, all that will happen. But I definitely want to, I want to bake the turkey. I don't want to microwave the turkey. And there's no humble brag when I say this, but like, and I told you this last time, but me and Nico really set out to just kind of make something simple. And, you know, whether or not people thought it was unique, that's one thing, but we just wanted to like, just do something simple. And it's just, it was our EP first impression type of deal. So we weren't necessarily trying to like change the world or reinvent the wheel, but with this new band, it's just like, you know, like I said, I try my best to really just apply everything. Like even like with the Japan stuff, like I'm trying to like, put that into the atmosphere, maybe put on the battery to even go to Japan, because I still have the connects with the people from out there as well.
Yeah.
Beast, by the way, you should look up a band called Beast. It's hard to find their music online, but I think they have a Twitter, but Beast from Osaka, Japan.
Oh, was that the band that Frank brought out on tour like a couple years back? Or
yeah, that's them.
Yeah,
that is them. They actually friends with a band called the China White Motors. And they I think Elvis from Left Alone brought them out a few times, and they vice versa.
Nice. I'm gonna have to look them up, because I remember seeing the pictures of Isolated in Japan. I assume that's where that relationship formed, or was that like did you guys already know each other?
Well, because they came out here to LA, and we kind of gave them the tour of LA, and like we played a lot of shows. Basically, it was a bunch of Isolated Victims and Beast shows all through like LA and like in the Valley. And then it was kind of a trade-off. Like we made a deal that we would go out there and do the same thing. And like, sure enough, like a year and a half later, I would say 2 years later, we went out there, and yeah. So we had already had going out there. Yeah, there was already an established relationship. We were cool with them. You know, when we brought them out here, we had smoked them out with weed, which is a big deal because, you know, Japan's kind of taboo with the weed.
Really?
So we put them the Cali love. So yeah, when we went out to Japan, it was already kind of like we were already, you know, we were tight.
Yeah. Getting back into the music, man. I've seen that you've been posting like you guys are working on new stuff. Are you doing like an album or another EP, or are you just starting with like a single, or what's next, man?
I think right now I'm looking, and we're trying to look at it towards an EP perspective, but if we can fart out more songs and make it into an album, it's going to be so. Actually, we're going to probably remaster a few of the songs that are on the EP, not all the songs, but a few of them. So that way it gives people an excuse to not only go to the new EP or the new project.
So the old
you can kind of go back and look at, you can kind of compare. And you'll kind of see once it comes out. But we're going to remaster 1 or 2 songs from the EP, and most of the new songs are going to be on there. It's going to be definitely a new sound, like as far as like the vibe. Like I don't know if you listen to Comeback Kid.
Yeah.
Or have you heard of Comeback Kid?
Most definitely. Yeah. You're going for that type of stuff?
Like like kind of like post-hardcore and like
that's dope.
Just a lot of different influences, man. Like that we're gonna like steer in there. Like it's still gonna be ska punk, but it's definitely gonna be a little bit more of a different slightly different direction from the first EP. So
nice.
Hopefully soon, man. I would say within like 3 months, or I'll say around 3 months, roughly. We should have something out. Hopefully.
I was talking to somebody recently about like doing like different shit, like different styles on an album, especially for ska bands, bro. I think that shit works out because if you look at it, in like most ska bands, like even like successful ones, like they're highly like their most critically acclaimed shit, not like their most commercial shit, but their most like critically acclaimed shit is always like the like alternative stuff where they broke off of like ska. You know what I'm saying?
Madness, our house.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, yeah.